Okay, welcome back, guys. So, last time we met, feels like a very long time ago now, it was just Friday. We started looking at different ways to make models using linear equations. And the sense that I got talking to many of you was that it was quite a difficult part. You'll also have noticed that the first two questions on the assignment are about linear models. So we're going to do an example now. It's quite similar to the first two questions on the assignment. Would be a good idea. You're in a maths class. In general, if I write something down, you should write it down too. Your title is Review of Linear Models. Just your regular workbook will do. Linear models. So, year 11, so to be very clear, in this example, I'm not introducing anything new. This is something we covered last class, but I know that it was difficult for some of you, so that's why I'm going over it again. Okay, so I'll talk more about the assignment. Okay? The assignment's due next Tuesday. We've got a 2-period tomorrow. Tomorrow's a good idea to work on it.
Wait, you have 2 periods tomorrow?
No, 2 weeks.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
It's not due tomorrow. Okay, so we're continuing with what we did last class. So here I've given you an equation. C equals 2.8 plus 3.2 times D. And I've been very, very helpful. I've told you what the letters mean. So I've told you that C is the cost of hiring a taxi, and D is the distance traveled by the taxi. Okay? So all we want to do is identify what the slope is, identify what the intercept is, and put into words what those numbers mean. Alright, so let me help you out here. You've seen this many times by now. Y equals A plus BX. But I don't have Y and X here. I've got C and D. Right? So, can someone remind me, which one is the intercept and which one is the slope? Right. By the process of elimination, B is the slope. Okay, so if you don't know A plus BX, you'll have a very hard time doing this question. So remember, every linear model can be written in this form. Okay, so we can now read off the values of A and B. So what's the slope? Can someone tell me? Say it again. Yep, in the context of this particular question, what number is the slope? 3.2. Yep, 3.2. It's really laggy because I've got this thing plugged in as well. So sorry about that. Okay. So give me a hand. Thumbs up, middle, or down for how you found part A. Can you read off the intercept and slope from a linear equation? Okay. All right, that's okay. Tomorrow is a good time to come see me if you need help. Okay. This is the part where it's part maths, part understanding. So let's take a look at the slope, which is 3.2. And think about the context here. I'm traveling in a taxi, and the cost is 2.8 plus 3.2 times d, where d is the distance that the taxi travels.
Well, how do you know how far the taxi is? I'm so confused.
Okay, so that's a really good question, Tara. Tara has asked, how do you know how far the taxi has traveled? The answer is, it doesn't matter. It could be any number. That's why I've used a variable d there.
It doesn't matter that like and then obviously it doesn't matter that can we just say that it matters?
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. It's quite common what you're experiencing, so that's fine. All right, year 11s. Let's bring it back. All right. Have a look at the formula. Let's imagine I travel a distance of 0. Okay, so I've got it in the taxi and I haven't gone anywhere yet. How much am I going to be charged? But look at the equation.
Yeah, isn't it 280?
Yeah, 280 because I've gotten into the taxi and haven't traveled anything yet. So you've got to look at the equation here. 2.8 plus $3.20 for every kilometer I ride in the taxi.
So say if you went 20 kilometers, it would just be 3.2 times 20.
Plus 2.8.
Plus 2.8, yeah.
Okay, 10 kilometers, the 3.2 times 10 plus 280.
Okay. But where does the B come from?
This B?
Yeah.
Okay, this B is just a symbol to represent the number written in front of the D.
Oh, right.
Okay? So when you did y equals mx plus c in year 10, m was the gradient.
Yeah, I think the heater's on.
Can we just turn it off then?
Yeah. Where's the egg machine?
Well, I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Shut up, Tyler. And make the sun snow.
Just don't turn it.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
What?
Make the sun a snowflake. I'm sorry. I'm just in the whole day. I like to do it. I don't have one of those. That's what I say. Yeah, I don't know. I'm joking.
Alright, let's bring it back. Okay, so. Waiting? Okay, so if we don't travel any distance at all, we're charged 280, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so what number is that? Is that the intercept or the slope?
Intercept.
Okay, so part C is actually easy to do first, so let's do that one. What is the meaning of this number 2.8?
It means how much it will cost you to sort things out.
Yeah, it costs $2.80 to ride in the taxi without traveling any distance. It's like a 5-second lag between what I write and it appearing on the screen. So. So someone asked, what about B? Great question.
Wait, what does that say? Intercept?
Intersect. Intersect. INT.
Yeah, intercept. Oh, okay.
Sorry. Just let me know if my writing needs to be needed.
It's really good. Who said that? Literally.
Okay, listening. I know it's period time and 6, 3 nuts. You're listening. It's always hard. So we figured out what the 2.8 means. Alright? I'm charged $2.80 for getting into the cab. Alright, now we're going to figure out what this 3.2 means. I've actually given it away already. So we know that the slope is 3.2, but what does that actually mean in this context of riding in a taxi?
It costs $3.20 every kilometer you travel.
That is the sort of statement that I'm looking for when I say interpret the slope. Slope is going to be a rate. So if I change this to 5, then it costs $5 for every kilometer I travel. If I change this number to 19D, then the interpretation would be it costs $19 for every kilometer traveled in the taxi. Does that sort of make sense? Now, I do think the ones I've given you in the assignment are a bit easier than this one. Yes, Felicia.
2.8 the kilometers we traveled.
No. $2.80 is the
That's
amount.
what it costs.
That's how much I'm charged for getting in the cab.
Okay, and then the
$3.20 is the cost per kilometer. And then D is the distance traveled. So D will go up depending on how long you travel.
So they charge us $2.80 when we get in the taxi.
Yes.
And then it doesn't go up, it just stays like that.
Until you stop traveling. Does that make sense?
So
Have you ridden in a taxi before?
no, yeah.
Okay, so when you get in the taxi, there's already money being charged to you. That's what this $2.80 is.
So then what's the 320?
This one?
That's per kilometer, so every kilometer you go, you add that on.
Every kilometer you go, they're charging $3.20 extra.
Oh, that's such a rip off.
Yeah, so I've obviously made this up. Okay, it is a rip off, isn't it?
Hi, Mr. Chu.
Hi.
Just you.
This is a way.
Fair enough. Okay, I get it now. We're getting ripped off.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Uber. Let's say we're in Uber. Like that.
Yeah, people ride Ubers now, taxis.
They're a little complicated being in a taxi. Wait, so you're going to charge you before you get in like taxi?
I actually don't know, because I've never ridden Uber.
Well, like, you know, like the scooters that you hire, the Uber scooters, that costs like $1.50 to just unlock it. And then it's like 20 cents or something per minute. Well, how do you know? Like, it's through an app. Oh, well, what if you just like unlock it? You can't unlock it without paying for it. But so you pay for it, that one thing, whatever it is, and then you can change it. Look, it's just a rip-off. You have to go on this. Oh my god. It's hardly thing.
And then have travel.
Okay, let's finish off this question. So the last question is, how far can you travel with $100? Does anyone have any suggestions on how we might solve this question?
Divide that 20. Wait. 280 plus 320. Oh, 100 times. Times. Right.
I don't want to get into the taxi and then find that I've not got enough money to make it all the way home. I've only got $100, so how far can I go?
You go 100.
daytime.
Why don't you just do 100 divided by 3? Would it be 30?
Okay, 100 divided by 3.2 is on the right track. But then there's this, yeah, there's this annoying 280 in the way.
Million. 34.
Okay, is anyone solving a question like this for the first time today? Yeah. Have you solved a question like this in year 10 maths?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll demonstrate this for you. So what's happening here is I'm saying I have $100 available. So the cost of my trip is going to be 100. Then I'm going to say I know what C is. C is 2.8 plus 3.2 times D. And then I'm going to set C equal to 100. Do you think you can solve this equation for D?
Possibly.
Yeah. So a while back we did some algebra in that room last year. So your first step will be to subtract 2.8 from both sides. So minus 2.8 on both sides. And then 3.2D will be 97.2. Just check that my math is correct there. And I think I'm out of space. Am I out of space? Rats. This is really laggy. This is painful. Like, it hurts. Okay, as this thing is scrolling, what should I do now to solve this equation?
Still moving.
Okay. Suggestions. I'm one step away from solving this equation.
What do I?
Divide by what number?
3.2.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of want to do something like this. Why did I put that?
Okay, and using your trusty calculator, you'll get 30.375. Alright, so I set up this equation for D. Did some algebra. You can also do this in the CAS calculator as well. Now, D equals 30.375. So what does that mean? I've got a number, and I want to put it into a sentence and relate it to the real world. Remember, we started off by saying, how far can I travel with $100? Now I want you to answer the question for me. We started off by saying, how far can I travel with $100?
Yes.
Solve this for D. I got 30 point what? So how far can I travel? 30 what? Kilometers. Okay? You can travel.
So do you have to actually answer the question with words?
In this case, it's very clear. So no. But later, sometimes you'll get more than one number, and you'll only need to pick one of those numbers. So this is a very good habit to get into if you don't have it already, to answer the specific question being asked with a sentence, not just a bunch of numbers and equations. Alright, so I'm not going to spend any more time on linear models, but if you want to spend some time with me tomorrow during the study periods, just come find me. I'm hoping I won't get too many classes tomorrow because of the year 7 of camp. But I'll let you know on Teams when I'm available tomorrow. Also, if you don't have VCal tomorrow's class, there'll be no new content. So we'll just be working on the exercises tomorrow, and I'll be here.
And we're like, have you helped during it?
Yeah. So I'll be in the classroom with you.
Oh no, I got like the first.
Okay, year 11s, you now can put in a new title in your book. The title is Solving Simultaneous Equations.
The title of what's that?
Solving simultaneous equations. So, I'm just waiting. Do you remember what this is? My understanding is that this was one of the last things you did last year in year 10 maths.
Simultaneous 2 L's. I mean, is that an L and a T?
It's an L and a T, yes.
The last thing I did last year was not this.
Okay. I'm sure you did something. All right, I'll write something down for you, and you tell me whether it looks familiar. So, last year you did this with algebra. So, maybe it looks something like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Two equations with two variables. Does it look familiar? Okay. Okay, so just waiting. Now, do you know why you spent a few weeks dealing with this last year? Like, what was the point of this?
Practice to learn.
Say that again, Tyler?
Practice and learn.
Yeah, but why is this useful?
To try and teach us something.
Okay, so what were you being taught?
To avoid some memory on the simultaneous equation.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just figure out how to learn.
Okay.
And it's useful for practice.
All right. Can anyone tell me the connection between this picture and simultaneous equations?
You can figure out that.
But what am I figuring out?
Figure out
Point on
point.
the graph.
Okay, point on the graph. What's that?
Two coordinates.
The meeting room.
Okay.
The number where the two lines are.
Interesting. All right. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph these two equations on the same axes on Desmos, and we'll see if it works. Are your laptops this slow?
No, mine's max.
It must be this. Okay, guys, have a look at the board. So I've got two graphs here, one in red, one in red and one in blue. And they both meet at this point, negative 1.8 and 0.4. So if I gave you these two simultaneous equations, remember simultaneous means at the same time, my goal is to find the values of x and y that make both equations true at the same time. So one of you pointed out the point where they meet, the point of intersection is useful. So what's the solution to the system of simultaneous equations? No? Okay, let's go back to the question. I've given you these two simultaneous equations. What's the solution? Say it again. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking this question is to check whether you actually understand what it means to solve simultaneous equations. So if I say these are my simultaneous equations, what should my solution look like? What do I need to give? Tyler?
Well, start with one y-intercept and then figure out the slope. And then move down to the next. Probably take the color on the y-intercept and then do the slope again. And then you can try and figure out the middle one.
Where they meet? Okay, so we've done that. We found where they meet. So what's my solution? Okay, so the solution to this system x equals negative 1.8 and y equals 0.4 because the graphs intersect at the point negative 1.8 and 0.4.
Maybe this makes your
Yeah,
Intersect.
intersects. Okay, so year 11, I want to check with you. Are you familiar with this idea that if I solve two simultaneous equations, all I need to do is graph them and find where they meet? Is that a familiar idea from last year? Okay, so this is something that you need to know. There's a question on the test about this. The test has already been written. Okay? Okay, so the assignment I wrote, the test is written by the same people who wrote the text.
Maybe simultaneous equations.
Huh? Okay, good question, Ben. Ben has asked how we do simultaneous equations. Because here I just drew the graph, right?
Yes.
Last year you did lots of algebra. Now here's the good news. General Maths is not a class about algebra. So we will only use the CAS calculator for this. Which is what I'm going to do now. So now I'm going to show you how to solve simultaneous equations on the calculator. So if you have it, please get it out. Yep. Okay. Now, did you use this last year?
No.
Okay.
I had mine last week because I told us, and I said you only did the other one.
Yep. Okay. So to get to the main menu, press the on button. Is that coming up? Yes. So what you'll want to do is press enter when it's over new. So we're going to create a new document and just collect notes, save changes. Too fast? All right, start again. Okay, new document. If you are prompted to save changes, just select no.
And how did you get to that little screen with that comes up with our calculator?
Well, it comes up automatically for me because my document's blank. Yeah, it'll be slow the first time, so don't worry. Take your time. Okay, next step. So remember, our goal is to solve these two simultaneous equations, but this time we're going to chuck them into the calculator. So, so how do you get there? So click on menu, and surprise, surprise, a menu comes up. Click algebra, that's option number 3. Then press the right arrow. This will open up a new menu. Go all the way down to number 7. Solve system of equations. System means there's more than one.
It comes up with 1 or 2.
Yep. So there are two options here. Solve system of equations or solve system of linear equations. In this case, it doesn't actually matter. Linear just means the calculator will do things faster because it knows what to do with linear stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to select the first one. It doesn't actually matter. All right, so you can't really see that, can you? Let's see if this helps. Maybe if I elevate it a little bit. Oh. An empty box won't be good. Can you see that?
Oh, like if it's on your calculator, then you kind of know what's happening.
Can you turn like one of the lights on?
Yeah, turn the lights off right above you.
That's worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you turn one light?
This is the best I can do. So, okay. So the default is 2 equations. So if you just press the left arrow, you can actually see what number is there. So mine says 2. All right. For the purposes of this exercise, let's just keep it to x and y. So press enter, and watch what happens. You have this thing that says solve, and then you have 2 boxes. That's where your equations are going to go, followed by x and y in these special curly brackets. So what we need to do now is type in the 2 equations into those boxes. So the first equation was y equals 2x plus 4. So literally type that in.
So do you use like the letters down the bottom?
Yep. Y equals 2x plus 4. That was the first one.
Oh, right.
Is the equals enter?
No, there's a separate button for equals underneath control.
Y equals
2x plus 4
2x
plus 4. Okay, once you've done that, you need to press the down arrow to go to the next box. And then you can type in the next equation. So here, it's negative 3x minus 5, so y equals minus 3x minus 5.
Sorry, what was the first one?
Y equals 2x plus 4.
And the second one is?
Negative 3x minus 5.
Do you have to put 5y or just 5?
Good question. It does matter. It's just 5 letter. So you probably saw the x and y's together on the same side last year. Here they're just been rearranged. Okay. All right. If you've got that, you can press enter and see what happens. Now, I think some of you will get fractions. Did you get fractions?
It says argument error.
Okay, so I get that.
Yay.
Okay, so did everyone get negative 1.8 and 0.4?
Yeah.
All right, so is that the same as what we had earlier? Yes. That is all you have to do to solve simultaneous equations this year. There is no algebra needed. Okay, so it probably took maybe half a page last year. Substitution, elimination, but we just need the CAS to do it this year. Okay, so on your assignments and on the test, there will be a question that will require you to solve simultaneous equations. So make sure you know how to do this with the CAS. On the assignment, I'll tell you where to look in the textbook if you forgot. Okay. All right, that's it for today. So I'm going to check where you're all at with your homework. And you can use this time now to either finish off 5G, which we started last lesson, or move on to 5H, which is solving simultaneous equations. If you've got questions, just let me know.
What was the homework that we had? The assessment.
Okay, so the assignment is different to the textbook work. I'm
So
just
you have to finish all the textbook work before you start.
well,
That is
that's
so
that.
much work.
It is, I know. So ideally, you would have finished 5G already, but I also live in the real world. I know that you don't finish everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm checking where you got to with the holiday homework.
I've lost my one. One to my locker, go get it. Yeah, I wonder who it is. Yeah, it's so hurt. Is it? It's Jesus.
There is someone. There is someone.
Maddie.
Who is someone?
Who is that someone?
Maddie.
Okay, so the holiday homework was 5A, 5F, which I'm now checking. So who wants to show me first?
Not me myself also.
You're showing me what
do you mean?
what you've done from chapter 1, which is mostly the homework.
Oh yeah, that
I think so.
Okay, alright, so you first. Everyone's going to be checked, okay? So you can't work. Yes.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that is so bad. Oh no! What's happening, bro? What's happening? That is horrible.
You nearly
bro.
jumped out in front of me.
Oh my gosh. That is disgusting. Oh, that is actually. What? That is so messed up. I want to tell something. I was actually so funny. What was it again? What's the I heard most of it.
No one will want that day. No one. I'm telling you so.
Which exercise is this?
That's 5A. That's 5A.
Oh, yes. I suppose 5A, 5B.
And then the rest of us whatever. I think I got up to like the end of 5, maybe.
So, and yes, nothing else Like in the real world, we use computers as calculators. I sometimes wonder why we find Okay, so would you still want to make the face smaller and do working and stuff? That was 5B. So why don't you come on and move on? You should keep your work together. So I'm assuming you're working on this book. Yes, keep it all together. Yes.
Wait, are we gonna get in trouble if we have paper girls? Or does it just depend how far you get?
Yeah, so the worst case scenario is I ask you to meet me every Friday at lunchtime. But you know, I'm not making any punishments at this stage. I just want to see what it's all like. You're just getting these kinds of
Did you? I'm not gonna get it, but I'm gonna file.
Is there?
correcting your answers. You really need to do that. Probably not. So you've done 8 and 9, right? How'd you go with the sheet? No, that's the very beginning.
Oh, I'm ready.
This is like the beginning of your year. That's alright. So whenever you find Flash, you can show it to me. I can take it off. Sheets. There was no sheets for Flash. That's fine. Would you like another one? It's on my desk. Actually, no, you can borrow it.
I've got all my kids stuff. I have that class too. Okay, paper stuff. All the paperwork is part of us.
So is this these ones?
Yes.
Okay. So my part A is left. Then part B. Part B. Part B, I'm assuming that's part B. Part A. Part B. Part C.
I'm gonna take this one. Basically, I could just look back and there's lots of working minutes.
Part C there. Part A and part D. And then I just got it. But then I did what we did in class with the graphs. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Slick.
Alright. So that's what we did in class last Friday. Second part. Great, thanks, Sarah.
Wait, do we have like where like the question for 5G is?
Yes.
There's so many questions I'm not 100% sure where. I was clarifying. What is that? What's Brucey?
Thank you. Textbook.
Thank you, Ben.
Textbook. Test stuff already. Alright, gentlemen. Take a seat.
Also 5G.
This one? 80 plus 120 times.
Oh, yeah.
120. C equals I won't worry too much about this. Basically, there's one point
What are you saying?
I'm looking. Cost equals A plus $120 every cubic meter. Here, we remove. I'm saying we remove A. So W becomes A plus you're gonna have so have it done like this. Have a point at 0, A, and then another point for A. A plus
What are you searching?
I would want to do and looks like it's but if you want to go graph, this is a bit hard because the scale here. But if you can figure out the point of X, you just log the A and just add it. So I'm gonna I will give you accuracy.
I left my folder at home. I did the web that I was down. I was
Tara, you've got a textbook and a calculator.
Yeah.
Like if any of this like something to do with all of it. So like this is all so it's like
I'm only up to 5G. Because like I'm stuck at 7D. I'm stuck on question 7.
Same question.
You should have seen me when I was wearing Chinese. T-shirt, Chinese. I just want.
Wait, what are you up to?
7 days. I got 3.
That wasn't me, Jack. Okay, I'm up to 7 days.
I got 3.
Oh my god! Wait,
Yes. 7D, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, push the target.
So you.
That's alright. You got high grades in 400 mils.
In some places, and then some like most
Most of them
no.
towards the end of the year.
No, it's the start of the year.
I got
I was scared when I was 98.7.
I got 99 on 3 of the tests.
I want to see if you've done something.
And I know
Okay, Tara.
I know
Then why don't you go to the center?
I did.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I like to see you guys struggle more than I did. At least I got 4.
4 out of 120?
No, it was like 4. You girls do. You're going to girls' games. Your boy working.
I want what's best for you.
No,
It's because I want we like
So they actually do
and then I broke my normal glasses case, so I was like, alright.
I'm telling everyone, probably has something to say.
Exactly, that's the least one
I only tried
You don't get it? What are we looking at?
Mine we didn't finish 5 minutes. I ended BS.
The main.
Okay, can I draw a picture for you?
Are you doing your
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Wait, is it 18 or 13? 18? I'll set it up for you.
So why is the same answer the same only at the start of the equation?
No, it doesn't have to be. I know. So, Alicia, do you think 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2? Okay. It doesn't matter what order I put the numbers in. It's the same result. When adding numbers, the order doesn't matter. It's the same thing here. So I could have put 2.5c first.
How about you find out if it's same at the end?
Now, do you think you can solve this equation for C?
Did you get maximum? Wait, why is it E? What do you actually
Oh yeah. Do we have to do the whole thing?
The assignment?
Yeah.
I would highly suggest you do the whole
I have a
assignment.
question. Does it make life fun then?
Okay, so I'll have to reach you. Yes, that's due next Tuesday.
Yeah, no,
What
Do you have a date?
It's this wrong, but let's understand why. So
Wait, what'd you say?
if I solve this equation, I get c equals 2. 2 times 16 times 20. Can you tell me what's 250 times 2?
Yeah.
Plus 5 plus 6. Now, it's 65. The same as 112.5.
I'm joking.
You're not
Sorry. They call me by my middle name.
So, can you describe to me, Felicia, what do you think you're doing? You want to take away 2.5?
Nothing.
I'll do the first suggestion. We're going to start with getting rid of the 60. 60 minus 60. It's going to be left with 2.5 C. Well, if you don't like it with this one, just put it out.
Yes, I really do.
So let's do that. Make it more simple. Even though these look different, they are the same equation. I just reordered them. Now I'm going to take away 60 from this. So you can still do it this way as well. Yeah. Minus 60 is actually being done for the not just this. So, look, I can't. This doesn't have a letter, this one doesn't have a letter. Let me do a similar one. 5x equals 12. You know how to solve that equation? The answer is 1.
But I don't think it's by 4. By 5, so it's 5. At 5 from the end, so I divide by 5. Divide 5 by 6. So what am I going to divide by? Let's calculate this. So I make that as a 3, but 5. You know what? Just move on to the next section. This is going to take more than 1 lesson. And general math is not really focused on this. So why don't you do it?
That's what I imagine.
Okay, so to find the equation of superposition, Year 11 is quite loud. I have a suspicion that that's not working level noise. So we've got 20 minutes left. I'd like you to get some work done. So if we could maintain it at about this noise level, I think that would be useful. Please continue. you've got a cast, but you could do it. AJ, have you got a cast?
No. I think I managed to get the wrong business.
Do you have to be?
No.
Okay, then you can use
I'll just so far I have this just level.
so you need the cast now.
Yeah, I did. Well, I wasn't there. It was too late. So when I went on holidays, I was just ripping them out.
Yes.
But I'm looking at my phone. Actually, the other thing is that you get I got put down my dates. My first one, one word. It was like the second MSN. But my second one was I'm just scared that do not point at me, Madeline. But AJ gets up before and what?
I come on my bar. I get on second class, and then I get off.
You get on like second.
Yeah. You don't want me. Just saying.
What do you even have to do?
I don't even want to.
You just have to walk on
Wait, Tara, you can like make they do like a little that's
yeah, I know. You have to do the whole thing. It's so bad. It takes me half an hour to get to school and half an hour to get back. It's literally because I'm not walking along the highway. My dad thinks it's too dangerous. I would rather just walk. I would just rather just be on a bus for half an hour.
And big. The first number is the x squared, the second number is the y. So your answer is going to be x equals -1, 1, 2, okay?
and then after that, we're on the bus. He just wants to